Welcome to my channel. Today we learn English with an inspiring story filled with 15 powerful life lessons that can transform the way you live, think, and feel. This is not just about grammar or vocabulary. This is about learning English through emotion, reflection, and real meaning. Let's begin our story of change, one lesson at a time. I never thought a simple moment could change the entire direction of my life, but sometimes life doesn't ask for permission. It simply arrives like a strong wind, pushing you toward the edge of something new. I was sitting alone on a park bench, thinking about how little my life made sense. I had a job, an apartment, and a routine, but no joy, no purpose, no fire in my soul. And in that silence, I began to ask questions that I had always avoided. That was when the first lesson appeared, quietly, like a whisper in the wind. Lesson 1. Ask the right questions, even if you're afraid of the answers. Many people spend their lives answering questions that don't matter. What should I wear today? What's the best phone? What will people think? But the questions that shape your life are deeper. Am I happy? Am I doing what I love? Why am I here? These are uncomfortable questions. They don't offer easy answers. But when you begin to ask them, your life begins to change. After asking myself those questions, I realized that most of my decisions were based on fear. Fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of losing comfort. So I made a promise to choose courage, even in small ways. Lesson 2. Choose courage over comfort again and again. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about acting despite the fear. When I started saying yes to uncomfortable opportunities like public speaking, new skills, or honest conversations, I discovered something amazing. Fear shrinks when you face it, and your world expands when you step outside the walls you built to protect yourself. With each new experience, I learned more about myself. Not all of it was easy. Some truths hurt. But hiding from the truth is like locking yourself in a dark room and throwing away the key. Lesson 3. Be honest with yourself, even when it hurts. I used to lie to myself all the time. I'm fine. This is normal. One day I'll be happy. But lies are heavy. They weigh you down. When I finally admitted, I'm not okay, it was painful, but it was real. And from that place of honesty, I could begin to heal. Healing, I learned, doesn't happen in a straight line. It's messy, emotional, unpredictable. Some days, I felt strong. Other days, I felt like giving up. But the key was not giving up on the process. Lesson 4. Progress is not perfect. It's persistent. Too often we quit because we're not perfect. But real growth is about showing up again and again, even when you don't feel like it. A writer becomes great by writing through the bad days. A speaker becomes confident by speaking through the fear. And you? You become who you're meant to be by staying in the game. As I continued to grow, I met people who inspired me. Some were teachers, some were strangers, some were even people I used to ignore. That's when I learned one of the most beautiful truths of all. Lesson 5. Everyone you meet has something to teach you. Every person carries a story, a lesson, a wound. When I began to listen more deeply to my friends, my family, even to people I disagreed with, I started learning more than I ever did in school. Life is a classroom, but only if you're willing to be a student. Being a student of life also means being open to failure. That used to scare me. I thought failure meant weakness, but I was wrong. Lesson 6. Failure is a teacher dressed in pain. When I failed, I used to feel ashamed. But when I started asking, what is this trying to teach me? The pain became a lesson. Every rejection, every mistake, every moment of loss showed me where I needed to grow. In failure, I found direction. I began writing down what I learned, just for myself. It helped me process my emotions and see my patterns. And slowly, it became a habit that changed my life. Lesson 7. Write it down. Reflect. Learn. There's something powerful about putting thoughts into words. Writing doesn't just help you remember, it helps you understand. When I read my old journals, I saw how far I had come, and I also saw the lessons I kept repeating. Writing gave me clarity. With clarity came confidence. I stopped seeking approval from everyone around me. I began to trust my own voice. Lesson 8. Stop waiting for permission to be yourself. For years, I waited for someone to tell me I was good enough, smart enough, worthy, but nobody can give you permission to be who you are. You have to take it. You have to say, I matter, even when the world is silent. And when you do, amazing things begin to happen. You begin to dream again, and dreaming is essential to any journey. Lesson 9. Dream big, but act small, one step at a time. Dreams are like stars. They guide you. But action is what gets you there. I had big dreams, but I started small. Reading one book, taking one walk, making one brave decision. Step by step, I moved closer to a life that felt like mine. That journey was not always supported by others. Some people laughed. Some said, that's impossible. But I realized something important. Lesson 10. Don't expect everyone to understand your journey. It's not theirs. People will judge you based on their own fears, not your potential. I stopped trying to convince people. Instead, I focused on becoming the proof. The more I grew, the less I needed to explain. I also learned to protect my time and energy. I used to say yes to everything and everyone, but that left me empty. Lesson 11. Saying no is a powerful act of self-respect. No is not selfish, it's sacred. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to your purpose. When you say no to toxic people, you say yes to peace. I learned to set boundaries, not to keep people out, but to keep myself whole. With time, I also learned to forgive, not just others, but myself. Lesson 12. Forgive yourself. You're learning. I used to carry guilt like a backpack full of stones, every mistake, every regret. But life is not a test. It's a practice. When I forgave myself, I found space to grow. I told myself, you did the best you could with what you knew. Now, do better. And that became my daily prayer. Do better. Not perfect, not impressive, just better. Lesson 13. Aim to grow, not to impress. Impressing people is temporary. Growing yourself is eternal. I stopped chasing applause and started chasing authenticity. When I focused on growth, everything changed. People could feel it, and more importantly, I could feel it. One of the final lessons came when I faced something I never expected. Loss. Someone I loved passed away. The grief was sharp, endless, impossible to describe. But in that darkness, I discovered something beautiful. Lesson 14. Love deeply while you can. Life is short. Too short to stay angry, too short to hide how you feel. I started telling people, I love you. I started writing letters, hugging longer, listening better. Don't wait. Don't assume. Express your love now. And finally, after all the lessons, all the growth, all the pain, and all the joy, I came to one truth that holds them all together. Lesson 15. You are the author of your life. Write wisely. No matter your past, no matter your fears, you hold the pen. Every day is a blank page. Every choice is a sentence. Every lesson is a paragraph. So write with courage, with hope, with love. Because in the end, your story is what you leave behind. Thank you for listening to these 15 life lessons. Practice speaking them, feel them, live them, and remember, English is not just about words. It's about the emotions, thoughts, and actions you bring to those words. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep writing your story.